Okay, today we are on chapter 2 of the book that I wrote, The Power of Self-Discovery. The Power of Self-Discovery. Now, on chapter 1, I asked a question here. I said, who are you? Then on chapter 2, the title of the chapter here is, what is your life purpose? You see, life has a purpose. Everything that has got life, it exists for a purpose. So my question to you is, what is your life purpose? Why do you have life? What are you existing for? You see, discovery of who you are comes from God. Whether you are a religious person or you're not a religious person, whether you're a person who says, me, I don't believe in God, but the fact still remains that you came from somewhere, and you came from this creator called God. That's where you came from. That's where he's the one who produced you. So it's not about belief. It's not about belief. What I'm saying here, it's not about belief. Life, all life came from the life giver, the source of life. All life, plant life, animal life, human life, as long as it's life, it came from the creator. There is somebody called the creator, the one who produced all these things with life and things without life. It's him who produced them. So to discover who you are, it comes from him. To discover who you are, it comes from God. He is the one who knows you perfectly. You are his idea. He does not bring you to that understanding all at once, but it's bit by bit. You know, it comes in pieces, just like a puzzle. You know, when you've got a puzzle, when you put the pieces together, then you have got the complete thing. I had that kind of an experience when God began to reveal to me who I am. There was a starting point whereby I began to realize that, okay, this is who I am. Then from there came in different stages, you know, different stages of what exactly God has purposed about my life. So this is how it happened. So when I put those pieces together, then I began to realize that for a truth, I've got a purpose that I need to fulfill. Let's look at David, King David from the Bible. That is 1 Samuel chapter 16. Now David was destined for kingship. After he was anointed at the age of about 16, he went back to shepherding his father's sheep. He went back to look after his father's sheep. Now, during this time, he had life experiences that became very key for his purpose here on earth. He protected his father's sheep. He fought for them. He killed a lion. He killed a bear. He learned how to fight for his father's sheep. Now, that fighting that he was doing for his father's sheep, it became a tool that he used as a king, because every king is a fighter. Every king is a fighter. Of course, except for ceremonial kings, but every executive king is a fighter. Kings are fighters by nature. So he learned the fighting before he was a king. So concerning your purpose, there are some things that you learn before you embark on fulfilling your purpose. Now, if you really you know, examine some of your life experiences, some that are negative and some that are positive, you discover that you already have a lot of you have quite a number of keys or arrows that you now need at this stage, whereby you are saying, I'm now pursuing my life purpose. That is how it is like. You only have to be a person who is very observant. Observe what has taken place in your life up to now, right now when you're listening to this video. Because you have gone through experiences that have taught you, you know, certain lessons of life, right? You have learned things maybe in a hard way, in a painful way, but all those things, you can draw out lessons which can become very powerful keys for you to fulfill your purpose. David was staying in the bush, And these battles that he had with wild animals, they gave him a cutting edge when it came to fighting for the nation of Israel as the king of Israel. Now, this was a school that prepared him to fight for Israel as the king. Life consists of different phases of experiences, right? Life consists of schools. In life, we learn things. Some things are learned, formally, some things are learned informally. So, but if you put them together, if you're a person who is a keen learner of things that pertain to life, you can see where you've gotten, some tools that you can apply in fulfilling your purpose from your experiences in life or from the schools of life. You should not despise the days of humble beginnings, the days of small beginnings. Let's look at Zechariah chapter 4 verse 10. That is one of the prophets in the Bible here in the Old Testament. Zechariah chapter 4 verse 10. For who has despised the day of small beginnings? For they shall rejoice and shall see the plummet, the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. They are the eyes of the Lord which run to and fro through the whole earth. This is where you learn principles. Now, okay, this is no longer part of the verse. That is where you learn, principles that enable you to do great things later in your life assignment. You learn them during the small beginnings, right? You see, every stage of your assignment is very important. No matter how small it begins, but every stage is as important as the big stage. You are not supposed to be a person who is big stage minded, but you must be a person who is focus minded. If you are to fulfill your life purpose, you have to be focus minded. You are not supposed to be a person who says, well, this stage where I am, things aren't important. No, every stage has got its own lessons that actually contribute to a later stage, which might be even bigger if you are progressive. Your humble victories, they become keys of reference when you get into bigger challenges of your life purpose. Learning and applying principles over a long time leads to success. Success is always a process. Success is a process because it requires the application of different knowledges that you will have acquired at different stage of your life and your life purpose. Remember, you have a life purpose. You have a life purpose, which is also the same thing that I call your destiny or your calling or your dream or your God-given purpose. You have a life purpose. You are an idea of God. You have a life purpose. Nobody can fulfill your purpose except you, but you have to discover it. You don't discover it from other people. You don't discover it from some other place. Now you discover it from within you. It's within you. You can discover it through a dream. It can be a vision. It can be circumstances. It can be a thought that never leaves your life. It can be this idea that never leaves your life. That can be a clue. There are different ways of discovering your life assignment. Your life assignment is not your ambition, but your life assignment is what God designed you for. So when David was chosen to kill Goliath, he was prepared for that fight. Unknowingly, he was prepared for that fight because he had fought at different levels. He had fought a lion, fought a bear. So he was now ready for that, that great stage of his life, which actually was the most decisive stage. Now, the advice that I want to give you is that value every stage of your assignment. No matter how small it is, value it, because that stage where you are right now, or the stage where every stage you get to, it's equipment for the biggest stage where your assignment can break forth, like the assignment of David. When David killed Goliath, he had a breakthrough that made him a national attraction. He was on the headlines of the whole country suddenly, but it wasn't sudden really. He had been fighting, prior to that, at different stages of his life. He had been accumulating experience, and all those experiences that he accumulated they became instrumental in bringing down the Goliath. I mean, this giant called Goliath. So small battles, they prepare you for great battles. Fulfilling your life purpose is a long process. In fact, it's not only a long, but it's a lifelong process. It does not begin impressively. When David fought the wild animals in the bush, there was no spectator, right? There was no spectator. Nobody was watching him and applauding him. Nobody was cheering him up, but something great was being built inside him. He was slowly being made into a mighty warrior for the nation of Israel. At the appointed time, when the nation needed a fighter, he showed up as the fighter. But he was not a microwave fighter, but he was a fighter that had been built, through different stages of his life, through different, battles that he went through when there was no audience. So I want you to understand this is very, very key, right? And then finally, when David was faced with this giant, he simply rehearsed in his mind the victories that he had experienced when he defeated the wild animals. Very important. He got inspiration from those victories that enabled him to bring down the giant. So listen, he brought down the giant through what was in his mind. If in his mind he didn't have big victories, he was not going to be able to bring down Goliath because he was too big. And remember, Goliath was an experienced fighter. So it is impossible to tackle great challenges without learning how to tackle small ones. Every small challenge is important. So David went through a school of kingship. It was a process. For him to become a national hero, it was a process. Do you believe in process? Fulfilling your life purpose requires process. You have to be a believer in process. Believe in process. Okay, thank you so much. See you next time. God bless you.